that makes me sound delusional, but also like I'm fully a Gemini. I have so much Gemini in my chart. I love to be a bitch with multiple identities. Hello party people, what's up? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Tori and today I have a chatty video for you all. So this video is partly inspired by Nina Lee's video where she was talking about movies with costume design that she thinks is underrated, and I'm also kind of inspired by a couple questions my friends had for me. A few of my friends asked me how I have kind of crafted my personal style and how I kind of find ways to incorporate trends into my wardrobe without having trends completely take over my closet. Personally for me, I think there are like 7 fictional characters who have like truly impacted my style, and so whenever I'm thinking about trends I choose to embrace or trends I choose to kind of not participate in, I always think of these 7 fictional characters. I think it's because all 7 of them have kind of taught me something interesting about fashion and dressing yourself. You know, aesthetically I think they were all very cool, but then they also just like, I think the like subject matter of the movies they were in just like impacted me deeply when I was developing my personality from ages like, you know, 6 to 16. So I thought I would share with all of you my list of fictional characters that have impacted my style. And I feel like a lot of these characters also influenced later media that I watched. So yeah, I feel like I'm talking too much. Let's just jump into the video. So the first few that I'm going to be talking about are definitely ones that I think inspired me a lot as a kid, and I think that they were very informative of how I dress myself now, because now as a almost a 25-year-old person, I make my own money. So now I'm allowed to dress however I want and spend my money however I want. So now I kind of feel like I'm living out my dream and kind of building my dream wardrobe all the time. The first character I want to talk about is Jen from Get a Clue, played by the Brenda Song. This movie follows Lexi, played by Lindsay Lohan, who is a gossip columnist for her high school newspaper. She publishes a photo of a pair of her teachers, which triggers a series of events and leads to one of the teachers to go missing. She, along with her friend Jack and her best friend Jen, played by Brenda Song, go on an adventure to solve the mystery. Can I just say, we need to give Brenda Song the love and appreciation she deserves. She is the Disney Channel original movie girl. Like, I feel like Brenda Song is the one, I want to say invisible string because I keep thinking of Taylor Swift, but I feel like she is the person that connects like the Lindsay Lohan and Hilary Duff era of Disney with like the Miley Cyrus and the Sprouse twins era. She literally was part of Disney back when they were dressing their characters so freaking well. Lexi and Jen were doing what Gossip Girl thinks it's doing. Like, they really left their mark on New York City. The outfit that I always remember from this movie is when the two of them are walking into school and Brenda Song has the 2 buns in her hair and she has on this beautiful, I believe it's a dress with like this like fuzzy pink collar and sleeves. And I think what this movie taught me, especially from a young age, is that you can dress for a theme, and dressing for a theme is fun. Like, I think even like her other outfits when they're like going sleuthing together, like she totally changes her color scheme depending on the situation she's in and what her and Lexi get up to, and I love it. I love this movie. It'll forever be iconic to me. So speaking of Lindsay Lohan, and there's also a character of hers that I constantly feel is my fashion inspiration, and that is Lola from Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen. It has an iconic cast and it has like Megan Fox in it, and I also stan Megan Fox. There will be no Megan Fox slander on my YouTube channel or any of my socials because we love Jennifer Check. Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen follows the story of Lola, an ambitious and dramatic teenager who wants to become an actress. However, her plans are kind of thrown when her family moves from New York City to Jersey, and she tries to make the best of it by auditioning for the lead of the school play, which steps on some toes, including Megan Fox, and obviously drama ensues. I feel like if you were ever obsessed with a boy band like One Direction, you definitely know this movie and you love this movie. I think often of like Lola and her love for Stu and Siddhartha. Like, that is me with Harry Styles. I'm sure if I was in school when Zayn left One Direction, I was luckily on spring break, but I feel like if I was in school when Zayn left One Direction, I would have been like Lola, like truly mourning in class, wearing all black, putting on a vigil. Like that is the level of drama I definitely had as a teen, and I think I still carry like to this day. Every outfit in this movie is iconic. Obviously we have the red dress the red dress, so good. We also have her I Heart NYC outfit with like the fishnet top and like the Coca-Cola bottle necklace, which is also, how many times am I gonna say iconic? But it is, it really is. And I also really love the baby blue mod dress that she has. The last character from like a truly children's movie that continues to inspire my fashion choices is Violet Baudelaire from A Series of Unfortunate Events. I'm talking about the movie from 2004 with Jim Carrey. I honestly was more of a Series of Unfortunate Events book child than I was Harry Potter. Is that a little controversial? Probably. This movie centers around the three wealthy and gifted Baudelaire children who are recently orphaned after their parents die in a mysterious fire. They are sent to live with their uncle, Count Olaf, who's really only after their inheritance. I always loved Violet. Like her, I'm the eldest daughter. What made her super cool and gifted was that she was the inventor within the trio, and I thought she was so cool. Violet has this quirk where she would tie her hair into a ribbon when she was like getting focused and ready. And as a kid, I always wanted to do that, but my hair would never cooperate because obviously who ties their hair in ribbons except like Disney princesses and like, you know, fictional heroines? Literally no one. So I really love the steampunk elements in the costuming of this movie, and I think this movie and like the costumes that Violet wears is also why sometimes I'm like, oh, I would love to wear a corset and be like that kind of girl. I think very often of like her dresses and like the cross detailing and the fishnet sleeves, and I think between like Lola and Violet, I like started to have like an affinity towards fishnet tights and like fishnet tops, so I feel like that really informed like my later years of like shopping at Hot Topic, and then later again when I was like obsessed with Skins and Effie. I feel like we need to talk about like the Violet Baudelaire to Effie from Skins pipeline, because I'm pretty sure it exists, even if it's just for me, but it's something's definitely there. We're moving away from childhood movies now. These are movies that definitely impacted me more as like a teenager, and even now when I rewatch these movies, I'm like, everything about this is incredible. And I can definitely see where like parts of my personality, like where they started. So the fourth fictional character I want to talk about is Molly Gunn from Uptown Girls. I wish I was in my home, but I'm clearly not. I forgot to mention I'm with my friends and we're in Newport Beach, so we're in a family beach house. I love this movie so much, I literally own it on DVD, so yeah. So this movie focuses on Molly, who's a young woman who hasn't worked a day in her life and is living off the rock and roll royalties from her dead dad. Suddenly she has to like get her life together and grow up when she finds out her manager has been stealing money from her. So she ends up landing a job as a nanny to Ray, this young girl played by Dakota Fanning, who's a very super serious little girl. And then in the end, Molly helps Ray channel her inner child, and Ray helps Molly grow up. It's so cute, it's wonderful. The reason why I mention Molly is because I feel like she was like my introduction to the kind of girls who'd be like, oh, this, I just threw it on. I feel like the modern equivalent would be like Dakota Johnson, Alexa Chung, the sisters from Haim. They have kind of mastered the whole like, oh, I just threw on this vintage pair of jeans and this very cool vintage rocker tee with my super cool vintage leather jacket. That whole like genre of street style still has a hold on my psyche. My favorite outfit of Molly's is when she uses a melting candle shade as a barrette. It's so good. Also, the outfit of her in like overalls is definitely something that inspired me a lot. I was definitely a teen in like 2014 who was rocking a good pair of dungarees. So that's Molly, number 4. This fifth fictional character is Summer Finn from 500 Days of Summer, which was one of my favorite movies growing up. This one is for all the girls who ever bought anything from ModCloth or even thought about buying anything from ModCloth. So 500 Days of Summer follows Tom, a greeting card writer who is caught off guard when his girlfriend Summer breaks up with him. He then reflects on the 500 days they spent together to try and figure out where they went wrong. My favorite outfit in this entire movie is the one that Zooey Deschanel is wearing, with the blue frilly collar blouse and the long skirt. Thinking about it now, Summer Finn is also one of those fictional characters who would like tie her hair up in a ribbon and it would like miraculously stay as a high pony tied in her hair. I never really wanted to dress like Summer per se, but I did love the energy and the vibe. And sometimes I like to channel her when I really need to like clean my house. My favorite thing to do when I need to like deep clean something is I'll wear like a super like housewife-ish dress and like turn off the feminism in my brain and pretend I'm like a housewife cleaning my kitchen. Is that weird? That now that I'm saying it out loud, it kind of sounds really weird. Yes, this is it. I'm playing the role of a neglected housewife. I'm gonna clean all my dishes and then I'm gonna turn the feminism back on in my brain and change it to my sweatpants. I don't know. There's something about her which she'll always like be a fictional character that definitely changed the way I approach dressing, you know. And I feel like in this case it's more like sometimes you can have like random alter egos, which I think has led now into my life where like if I'm going out to a concert, you know, I always like to channel like the artist that I'm seeing. If I'm seeing like Charlie XCX and Dua Lipa, I'm putting on like my pop star pop girl outfit. I'm fully a Gemini. I have so much Gemini in my chart. I love to be a bitch with multiple identities and personas and personalities. So I feel like it checks out that way too. The next fictional character that I want to talk about shouldn't come as a surprise if you've seen my How to Find Your Personal Style video. I talked about this fictional character a lot, and that fictional character is Katniss Everdeen from The Hunger Games. I was obsessed with the books as a teenager. We're Team PETA. Yes, I love a good brainwashed himbo. If you haven't heard of The Hunger Games, watch The Hunger Games. Where were you in 2012? But it's a dystopian movie that takes place in North America where the capital of Panem maintains its hold on 12 districts by having an annual competition where children fight to the death. Children are fighting each other for sport. There are so many other characters in this movie who have way better style than Katniss. Like, you know, all the capital citizens. We have Cinna. We have Caesar Flickerman. We have, what's her name? Elizabeth Banks' character that I'm completely forgetting right now. But when I tell you the green army jacket and the flat boot look had on me during my high school experience cannot be understated. I think this is one of the instances where like I got to like kind of dress and channel the fictional character that I loved at the time that I loved them. I loved Katniss Everdeen. I wanted to be her. I dressed like her. Like I was really appropriating the hunter archery look of it all. Katniss was definitely like a moment for me. Also, she kind of aligned with like everyone's obsession with like Miley Cyrus's streetwear. Miley would wear fishnets, she would wear a green army jacket and flat boots, and I was like, that's the epitome of fashion. So Katniss Everdeen, thank you for helping me figure out what my style was. Last fictional character I want to talk about is Kate from Hackers, which is a movie I feel like everyone needs to watch. Please go watch it now. It's streaming on Amazon Prime. This movie centers around this kid, Dade Murphy, aka Crash Override, who finds himself framed for stealing millions of dollars from a major corporation. So he befriends a few hackers to clear his name and to kind of like stick it to the corporation. This movie not only impacted my fashion, but also impacted the kind of like books that I like to read and the kind of movies I like to watch. All the hackers in this group have such incredible style, and I definitely reference all of them all the time. But my favorite, the one who always sticks out in my brain, is Angelina Jolie's character, Kate. I think really often of this outfit that Kate was wearing where it's like a Suzuki leather jacket with a Quicksilver rash guard underneath and like jeans. The costume designer for this movie, Roger Burton, actually said that he was super inspired by club kids in the 90s in New York City and London when it came to styling these kids. He looked at like hacktivist fashion, which is very similar to like what hackers wear now. Like if you think of like Mr. Robot, The Social Network, like he was like, oh, they literally just wear all black and hoodies. Like that's really boring. So instead he opted for a more fantastical vision, and I really love it. And it's a cult classic at this point. And I feel like what this movie really taught me is that you can literally wear whatever you want. Things don't have to go along with like the antiquated rules of fashion that we've been taught before. Like literally we live in a time where anything goes. You can wear whatever you want. Don't let people tell you what to wear. Don't let people tell you what does or doesn't go together. Like, you can wear whatever you want. I'm gonna take this philosophy of wearing whatever the hell I want everywhere now, because everyone's opinions mean nothing. You know, we have one life to live. I'm gonna wear whatever the hell I want. So my camera just stopped recording, and I feel like that's a sign that I need to stop talking. So yes, that's it. I really wanted to make this video because I feel like these characters aren't really talked about too often, or at least the videos that the algorithm says I should watch, none of these videos talk about them. So I thought I would. Please let me know what fictional characters inspire your style. I would love to know. I hope you all have a beautiful day, and I'll see you for the next one. Bye.